Hi, welcome to episode 106 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. We have a Ravelry group up, so go over, join. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I know there's tons of knitting podcasts, and I'm just happy that you choose to watch mine. So I have some stuff to show. I finished something, and it's also what I'm wearing. It's my knitting in the past. It is the Lotta dress by Marie Green. The pattern was in Len magazine, issue number 4. And I started this on July 1st because I have it on my Instagram. So if you want to see all the things I make, go over on Instagram. Yeah, let me show it to you. I can't really because, it's a dress. So I'm going to stand on my thing here. So this is the length of it. It goes to right above my knee. And yeah, I just put up a lot of pictures on Instagram. So if you want to have a better look, please go over and look there because, I have no idea how to show a dress on the podcast. It's done. It's finished. It feels great. It looks great. It's very, very warm. I am already starting to melt a little bit. So the yarn that I used for this, the pattern is actually written for a fingering weight yarn, and I used a DK weight because that's what I had, and I really wanted to have this color, and I wanted to have it in a single color, not a variegated or speckled or whatever. So this is what I used. This is yarn from Hamburger Wollfabrik. It is their Avantgarde blend. That's 40% merino, 40% cashmere, 15% silk, and 5% nylon. And I actually have no idea how much I used because I had 500 grams on this. No, 600. I had 600 grams on it, but as I have no idea how much the actual cone weighs, I just have to weigh my dress to calculate the yardage that I used. So yeah, it's done, it's finished, and it looks amazing. I'm super happy with it. I'm very impressed by this color because, even if I go for it, just flops back. So this is kind of nice. I like it. It's just different heights right now, but I don't care. It's done. It's great. The only problem I'm already sensing I will have with this is that it will bulge, especially where my butt goes, because, when you sit down, stuff stretches, and I feel like this will not stretch back easily. So, but I don't care. I love it. So what else can I say about it? I knit this dress on a 4.5 millimeter needle. That's a US 7 because that was the needle that went best with the yarn. And I knit the size small to accommodate for the difference in yarn weight because I usually need an M or L, and I knit an S with this dress. And it fits perfectly. It turned out great. I'm super happy with it. It is sweater number 11 for this year that I finished. And I think out of those 11, I also cast on 11 of them this year. I think I did not finish any whips or UFOs so far. I'm not sure. Well, it's done. I finished it in the last week of August, so it took me about 2 months to make this dress. And I also knit this at the same time as I knit the dude sweater. So this was kind of after here, this was my brainless knit because it's stuck in and around for 60 centimeters. So, you can do a lot of non-think knitting with this. I'm just happy. And I think paired with black, like I'm wearing it right now, it's perfect. You could also, of course, pair it with white, but white and me, we don't really get along because, white is just dirty after 5 minutes. So I'm going with black. I also think it looks really nice without the leggings on, but that's just personal preference. So yeah, I'm just happy. I'm really happy with it. I will not wear it without a cami underneath or a vest because, this here is my bra. So this goes all the way down to my bra. And that's just, not a look for me. I don't like to show stuff. So for knitting in the present, I have two things that I'm actively working on. The first thing is the sweater I talked to you about last week. It's my vanilla sweater. I have it in this project bag that a friend of mine made for me. So I showed you my sweater last time, and I showed you all 4 skeins of yarn. I just started the neck, you know, I had about this much. And I said that this would be color number 2, this beautiful Fabs yarn. And I have since decided that I am going to completely eliminate this color and knit something else out of it, probably a cowl for around my neck, because I love the colors. And I decided, okay, I'm going to do a 3-color fade with the other yarns. So I did start in with color number 2, and I had color number 1 cut off, and I wanted to knit color number 2, and it started spiraling. And you know, as color number 1 just is a overall non-pooling pattern, I did not want that. So I cut it off again and finished all of yarn 1 that I had, and then added yarn number 3 and decided to do a color block. That the idea actually came from my mom. She said, you know, just use the spiraling yarn for the sleeves, because if both sleeves spiral, it's not a big deal. But if you have, you know, just a third of your main body of the sweater spiral and the rest not, it's just going to look stupid. So this is going to be a color block now. Not really what I wanted, but okay. So here it is. This is colors number 1 and 3. And yeah, 3 did start spiraling after I did my increases, because, you know, I have a butt and that needs some space. So I did my increases in the side seams and it started spiraling, but it's not bad. But here, actually, you can really tell here, the stripe here is where I tried using yarn number 2. And already after just a few rounds, it started spiraling. So I cut it out, but I don't think it's bad. I just left it in. So yeah, this is the body. The yarn up here, it's my favorite of the ones that I used, is Biscotti and C in their Felix base that is discontinued, and no one wanted to sell this colorway because I checked. Because I thought, you know, I could have a sweater out of this, but I can't because no one wants to get rid of it. So yeah, this is it so far. I finished the body yesterday. So this here, Biscotti and C. This here is Marigold Gin in her BFL base in the Earl Grey colorway. And I started the first sleeve with the spiraling yarn, and it's going to spiral again, but a bit differently than it did on the sweater. So yeah, I will use all of this for both sleeves. I used up the full skein of the Biscotti and C, and I have this much left of the Earl Grey colorways. So I can totally knit a sweater out of 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn with long sleeves, as long as it doesn't have, you know, a cable pattern or something. So yeah, here we go. It's going to be color blocked. It's going to be an around the house sweater, I think, because I'm not super duper happy with how it's turning out. And I will finish it and I will wear it. I will just not, you know, if I ever get invited to tea with the Queen, I probably will not wear this sweater. So, but it's a sweater. It's brainless. It's fun to knit, so who cares? I'm knitting this on a US 5 and the ribbing on a US 2. It's 2.75 and 3.75 millimeter needles. That's my go-to needle for fingering weight sweaters, or a US 4. That's a 3.5. I like these two for, you know, getting a nice fabric. Yeah, that's it about this sweater. Nothing else to say. The other thing that I have on the needles is something that I started yesterday. And it's also something that I didn't talk about before, because there is the Hohi Fall Cowl going on right now. It started on Saturday, September 1st. Now let me get my hair. So it started on September 1st, and I decided to get in on the action again, like I did last year. And I registered with 3 different sweaters because I'm crazy. Last year, I registered with 1 sweater. It's actually a cardigan, and it still is about that big. So we'll see how well I do this year. I registered with 3 things. One thing I'm going to show right now for knitting in the present, because I started it yesterday. And it is in my new big project bag that my husband just brought me back from his work trip. And I love it. He specifically bought it as a project bag. He gave it to me and said, look, I brought you a big project bag for sweaters. So here it is. Oops. So I started the long line cardigan. Just have to find a piece of the pattern that I can show. So this is the one. Long line cardigan by Hohe Locatelli, and it is intended to be knit out of fingering weight yarn. And I'm not doing that because I found some skeins that really went well together, and they are all sport DK-ish. So I'm just going to do that and knit it a size smaller, similarly like I did with my dress. So, and I stopped in the middle of the round yesterday night because I was too tired to knit, and I hate doing that. But yeah, here it is, my started long line cardigan. It's an interesting construction. This yarn right here is hedgehog fibers. I received it in my potluck club that I'm part of. It is their Merino DK. It's my color number 1. And it's a potluck, so it does not have a colorway name. And this is actually the thickest of the yarns. So I'm starting out with this one here. I love this yarn. I think it's super nice. So here is my started cardigan. What I'm actually not good at is doing provisional cast on and picking the stitches back up. So I have this weird line here, right here. But I actually have decided that it is a design feature, and I actually quite like it. So this is the back neck here. And I have started doing the increases for the saddle shoulder detail. So like I said, it's an interesting construction. It's an open front cardigan, so there's no intention of wearing this closed. So let's show the yarn. First one, like I said, hedgehog fibers, potluck DK weight. Now come here. So color number 1. Then my color number 2 is going to be this one here. This is from Dibadou. This is going to be color number 3. I know that that is so much lighter, but I don't care. I think it looks nice. And now I have to get the other 2 and try to show you. The other 2 are, so this one here, hedgehog fibers. Then Dibadou yarn. And these are all a merino that's just a bit thicker. So it's more like, yeah, like I said, sport to DK weight. Then this one here is Knitting Spiro. And then I have 2 skeins from Handgefärbt. She was one of the first German indie dyers, and she has been out of business for several years now. So these are the last 2. And now I'm going to try to show you all of them at once, like I like to do. So this is it. This will be my cardigan. And yes, I tried taking out color number 3 in the middle and just popping them together without it. But I honestly think that I don't have enough yardage. So that would be the look of it without color number 3. And I do like that, but I would not have enough yarn. So I'm just going to make this work. And I also tried popping it in on the other end, you know, having it as color number 5. I'm not sure yet, but these are the yarns I have. Well, I actually quite like that. Maybe I will do it like this. What do you think? I think that's better. We'll see. So yeah, this is the long line cardigan by Hohe Locatelli, intended to be a fingering weight cardigan that I'm knitting out of sportish yarn. It's definitely not a fingering weight. And I went up in needle size. The pattern is written for a size 3.5 millimeter needle, and I'm knitting it on a 4. I'm using Die Crafts needles because they were empty, and I love my Die Crafts needles. And I also, speaking of Die Crafts needles, Die Crafts is the only needle maker I know that does make a 4.25 millimeter needle. And I really wanted to get a set because I love these in-between sizes. And I bought my set of Die Crafts needles 6 or 7 years ago. probably more. And when I got them, I was on waiting list for my set for, I think, 1.5 years. They still have a wait list for the full set, but sometimes you can get just single tips. And I checked, and the single tip that I wanted, the 4.25 millimeter tip, and every other tip, by the way, it doesn't matter what size it is $50. A set of needle tips. No cables, they were extra. It's just the tips. So I will probably live without my 4.25 millimeter needles because that's just a bit too much for me. I know I have the full set, and when I bought it, it was cheaper than it is now because the full set is quite expensive. So yeah, I will have to live without. And I checked, they still do the apple because my set is apple. Apple wood. And I could get one that, just fits in my set, but no, I will not get that for this kind of money. Not right now. Maybe I will in the future, but not now. So yeah, I will have to live without, but that's okay. I still have needles, So for knitting in the future, I have my other 2 patterns for the Holy Fall Cow. The first one I talked about last time, I think, is the long line cardigan that, that's the one I've started. It's the launching top that I'm going to knit out of these 2 skeins from Knitting Spiro again. She is also out of business. And I am going to alternate skeins every 2 rows and make it work because they are basically the same, except for this one has the yellow in it and this one doesn't. So that will just work out, I'm sure. And this is the pattern for it. Just a simple t-shirt. And the last thing that I'm going to start is the most elaborate one, I think. I have to make room because I have some skeins of yarn. I'm going to show you one skein of yarn. This is my hand spun. I have 4 of these. I have 900 grams and almost 1900 yards of this. So 4 gigantic skeins. This is my hand spun. It is a combo spin that I did 2 or 3 years ago out of 8 different braids from Into the World, from the club that I was in. So this is my yarn. It's a worsted weight 2-ply hand spun. And I am going to knit the Citadel coat. It's part of the Authentic collection that I got when it came out, and I had bound because I just, wanted to have all the patterns together. And this is the coat. So I will knit this one out of my hand spun. I have wanted to make this coat out of the hand spun ever since I finished it. So the knit along is just, my excuse to finally get started. So these are the 2 things I have for knitting in the future. For spinning, I do not have spinning. I still have absolutely no intention to spin. It's driving me crazy because, this is the Passionate Spinner podcast and I haven't spun in forever and I don't feel like spinning at all. So it is weird. I have new stuff. I have a lot of new stuff and I shouldn't have because I have a lot of stuff already. So the first thing that I have is this skein of yarn. It's a high twist sock yarn, just a normal sock yarn. And I am in 2 knit groups. I have the knit group that I host in my house with my close friends, and I have a knit group here in the village that I live in, the local cafe, with some older girls and some, middle old girls. So I'm by far the youngest. But we have one that brings in hand-dyed yarn from a friend of hers all the time. And we all of us ordered one of these. It's her watermelon colorway, and I just liked it. So I'm not sure yet what to do with it. I'm probably knitting socks because this is not a color that can go to my face without me looking like I'm horribly, horribly sick. So probably socks. I'm not sure yet. I just liked it. And then I got yarn from my friend Barbara, who has the shop Almrauschwolle. And I got these 4 skeins to go together in a sweater. And I already found the sweater and I printed the pattern and I did not bring it. So I cannot show you, but this will be a sweater. I just love these colors together. This purple is a bit more pinkish than the one I have in my dress. And that's just, you know, I love yellow and yellow loves me. So I will knit a sweater out of these 4 skeins. I first thought I will do a gigantic shawl, maybe some brioche because I never did brioche. And then I found the sweater pattern for that I just found, you know, and I decided that this will be a sweater instead because I like the idea. And I also got 4 skeins of her yarn that are not the exact same colorway. These 2 are the same and these 2 are the same, but they are so alike that I decided I can make this work and make a cardigan for myself and just, you know, alternate these throughout. And I will make just a stockinette stitch, simple raglan cardigan, I think, to throw on over summer dresses or to go with a t-shirt and jeans. So that's what these 4 are for. And they are 100% merino, and it's very soft and nice. And then I got some yarn from Dye Candy because she had an update and I happened to be around for it. So I'm going to take the yarn out of the wrapping so you can actually see it. So I bought yarn from Dye Candy at the Woolen Festival and I love her yarn. So I got a skein of Dark Magic and I already have 1 skein of Dark Magic that I bought at Woolen. So now I have 2 and now I can make a top because I love the color. And so yeah, I got 1 skein Dark Magic. It's her super sock base and it's gorgeous. Then I got 2 skeins of moss. I really wanted to have 3 or 4 to make, you know, a big cardigan or sweater because this is the perfect color for me. It's a green with a yellow tint, you know, it's a yellowish green and it's just the perfect color. So I hope I can probably snatch up more of this. If not, I will make a cardigan, no, and just have short sleeves. I don't care. I want this to be a cardigan. So yeah, 2 skeins of Dye Candy yarn, 3 skeins because, you know, there's the Dark Magic as well. That's my new stuff. A lot of yarn. I do not need yarn. I have a lot of yarn, but I'm, you know, I just cannot not buy yarn. For reading, listening, watching, I haven't read. I know I said last time I finished the ACOTAR trilogy and I really wanted to read something because I was into reading again, but it's, you know, I also talked about it last time. I think I fell into the reading hangover. So I'm still into my hangover phase of finishing a very good book or good trilogy. And I just haven't decided yet what I want to read next. You know, I have a few things that I think of, yeah, I could read this or I could read that, but it's nothing that I said that's just jumping out at me. So I'm not sure. It might take another week or so for me to start something new. But as I didn't read anything, I started to listen to some stuff. And because, you know, I am who I am and I like to revisit stories that I enjoyed, I downloaded all 3 of the ACOTAR books from Audible in English. And I'm listening to the second one right now. I finished the first, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm at the beginning, you know, the first third maybe of A Court of Mist and Fury. That's the second book. And, you know I just read the books myself, but I really just like doing that. My favorite audiobooks, I just listen to over and over and over, and I don't get tired of them. So that might be one of those series that I just listen to over and over and over. So yeah, I'm listening to those. I haven't watched anything. I wanted to, and I couldn't. I ordered Bake Off on DVD because I love Bake Off. Who doesn't love Bake Off? I mean, it's a wonderful show. And I love to bake. So, you know, it is a show made for me. The Brits don't have it on DVD. Couldn't find it. We do not have it on Netflix, which, you know, the rest of the world seems to have, but we don't. I can get it on Amazon Prime, which is very expensive because it's not included in their Prime stuff. You have to pay for it, and you know, you pay a lot for it, and they don't have everything. Then I talked to my friend Sadie, and Sadie said, you know, we have it on DVD over here. And I went over to Amazon.com and I ordered all the existing DVDs. They arrived. I had a shit day. They arrived and I was like, yeah, finally something good today. And I unwrapped the first pack, decided on which one I wanted to watch, unwrapped it, popped the DVD in, and my DVD player popped it back out and told me that it couldn't read it because of a regional code. I had no idea that these things existed. I just thought a DVD is a DVD, you know. Apparently it's not. So I now have to find out how to decode my DVD player so it will read the damn DVD, or I have to order a DVD player in America. I'm so angry. Yeah. What? I do not understand why that has to be, you know. Why can't a DVD just be a DVD and be done with it? No, it has a regional code. So yeah, I hope I can decode my DVD player. If not, I need a DVD player from America. That's what it comes down to. So for sewing, I have to stop talking about it because I'm so angry. Sewing. I didn't sew. It didn't happen because I was alone with Tim. And when I'm alone with the kid, then there is no sewing because he wants to help and he wants to touch everything. And with a sewing machine and a hot iron, it's just, yeah, no. So I did not sew, but I have a plan. I want to make the Sew Over It Anna coat. It's part of their new ebook, Weekend to Work, or Work to Weekend, or something like that. I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like in the end. So I just did a screenshot of it. So here it is. This is the coat. It's a trench coat, basically, without buttons. So it does not have a button band. It just has a tie thing, a belt. And I thought I didn't have fabric for this and I had to go out and buy fabric, and I didn't want to buy fabric because I have so much fabric. And then I decided, you know what, just go and look. Looked through your stash, maybe you find stuff. And I found stuff. So the outside coat will be out of this suiting fabric. It is a wool blend suiting fabric with a, oh, what's the name of this pattern? I don't know. Yeah, so it is just a gray suiting fabric. It's quite heavy. And I bought this for super cheap. I think maybe 10 euros for the whole thing. And that is 3 meters. So it should be enough. And then I'm going to use this one here as the lining. It is a linen. And I know lining should be something slick, but I will use this because I have it. And I think, to be honest, this is going to look absolutely amazing as a lining for this coat. So I got this as a gift from my friend who helped clean out the house of someone who passed away. And that someone had a full wardrobe full of fabric. And she brought me 2 pieces, and this was one of them. And I love it. I think it's nice, but I would never wear anything, a blouse or anything out of this. So I think it's perfect for the lining for the coat, because that will be just, you know, that will look amazing. It will totally look amazing. So I'm going to make this, and I found another yarn, not yarn, another fabric that I could use for this. My friend Oshi, she is a master hand weaver, and she gifted me a bolt, a full bolt of hand woven fabric by her out of a wool. It's a wool fabric that she plant dyed with onion. So it's a beautiful, beautiful brown wool hand woven fabric. But yeah, I will not cut into that before I know that I can make this work. So I am going to use my 10 euro cheap fabric with the gifted lining. And if this works out and I get the fit down and I get the construction down and it is perfect, then I will make a second version out of the hand woven plant dyed wool fabric that I will definitely buy a silk lining for. So I'm going to make the cheap version now, and if that works out, I will make the high class version. So we will see. I think this is going to be one of the most complicated things I made, because I have not done any jacket like that at all, and I never done a lining except for on a dress. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I will get it done. It's my big plan for fall sewing. So for everything else, I have 2 things. There is a VKN this Saturday. It's the 8th of September on at 9 p.m. Berlin time. I hope it will work, because there's for my number 2 for everything else. I am going to fly to Scotland on Thursday, because there is the Perth Festival of Yarn this weekend, and I'm going. I decided I wanted to go there, and actually this is all Dye Candy's fault, because she included the flyer in my package, and I knew that there was the festival and everything, and so yeah, I received my package and I got this flyer. I was like, oh, I'm home. I don't have anything to do this weekend. You know, my husband's here. We could just go. And he was in America for work. So I took a picture of the flyer and just sent him the picture with no words attached. And you know, it is in Perth. And there's another Perth on this planet. And his only answer was, you know, that's going to be a bit tight, because that's at the other end of the world. Because Perth in Australia is far away from us. And my only response to that was Perth in Scotland. And he booked flights. So I will fly out to Perth or to Edinburgh on Thursday. I will be at the festival on Saturday with my boys, my husband and my son, and we will come back on Monday. So we will have 3 days, because our flight over in the morning is at 6 in the morning. So we have to leave our house at 2, go to the airport, fly out to Edinburgh, and we will be there about 7:30 in the morning. So we will get our car and just drive around a bit, and have Thursday, Friday, and Sunday for sightseeing. And on Saturday, I will be here at the Perth Festival of Yarn. So if you are there, come over, say hello. And Saturday night, I will have my VKN from Scotland this time. You know, we did one from Ireland. We can do one from Scotland. So I'm either going to be in a hotel lobby or in my room with my boys, and I will be able to show you all the things I bought. So this is going to happen. I'm going to be at the Perth Festival of Yarn on Saturday, and Saturday night we will have a VKN. I'm excited for both of these things. So yeah, I know I have the best husband. I know that. I do. And I will not give him to anybody else. So don't even try. Because I got a lot of questions like, can you borrow him to me or something? Like, nope, I'm not sharing. That's mine. So, okay, I'm going to stop because I'm getting goofy. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I hope to see you on Saturday, either in real life or at the VKN. And yeah, I'm going to have to find some travel knitting because I'm not quite sure. The vanilla sweater needs sleeves. They would be okay for travel knitting, but I also have the full sweater attached to it, so that's kind of a bit big. The long line cardigan is too involved for right now because there's still a lot of thinking going on until I reach this point. And yeah, I don't have anything else on the needles that I really could take, so I'm going to have to find something to knit. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time. I will talk to you again, hopefully next week. And until then, enjoy everything you do. Bye.